Hello, dear fans, friends, and subscribers. Your host Ram with you on the Cricket Happening show today. Sorry that I could not come and do the cricket show yesterday due to my commitments, but here I am coming and speaking to you on Cricket Happenings. What I have for you today is India leveling the ODI series against South Africa, 1-1 with the final decider, which is going to be played in Delhi. So it was a good thing to see a second string Indian team beat the South Africans. Shreyas Iyer, after a long time, got into some big form with a ton, and also Ishan Kishan, who is now out of favor with the Indian selectors after his poor performance, came up with the goods as well with 93, missing his maiden ton in his home ground, Ranchi. Other than that, the Tri Series in New Zealand is in full swing, and New Zealand went on to beat Bangladesh, with Bangladesh really struggling in the Tri Series. They already lost to Pakistan, they have lost to New Zealand, and it has been a real struggle for Bangladesh. Australia versus England. England putting it across the Aussies, but with a bit of a controversy where Butler, the England captain, did not want to rake things up right away, as that was the first match. We are talking about obstructing the field, and I'll be talking about that incident that happened with Matthew Wade, where England did not appeal. Otherwise, I'm sure we would have seen Matthew Wade being given out, obstructing the field. Other than that, well, I will also have a look at some cricket news, if at all. The warm-up matches, not a warm-up matches, basically. India have already gone to Australia. They have won their first match against the touring team, the Western Australians, by 13 runs. Surya Kumar Yadav, who is a big game player in this T20 World Cup for India, did a good job. I mean, it is his first trip to Australia, and I thought he gauged the pace and bounce very well, as he rightly reported, and he scored a 50 in India's victory. And also, certain other victories were there. Some as you know, the qualifiers are going to play. West Indies are playing the Sri Lankans are playing the qualifiers, I reckon, or the West Indies as well. So we saw some matches there where West Indies went on to beat the United Arab Emirates. Scotland went on to beat Netherlands. First, let me get on to the match between India and South Africa. As India and South Africa, this we are talking about the second ODI, where India actually leveled the ODI series 1-1, and South Africans were the ones who actually batted first on this particular pitch in Ranchi, making 278 for 7. Contributions coming from Janeman Malan was out for 25. Quinton de Kock was gone for just 5. But Reza Hendricks, this man, did not play in the T20 series. I still don't know whether he figures in the T20 World Cup, but what a valuable inclusion he would be, because we have seen that Reza Hendricks is in some great form. He has reeled off 50s reeled off 50s every time he has gone on to bat there. And really, to me, it was a riddle. Reza Hendricks did not find. I think it was because Temba Bavuma was not there. That's the precise reason Reza Hendricks got a chance. And what an innings from Reza Hendricks. I mean, he showed twinkling use of the feet against the spinners, and he kept on playing his strokes as well, which was good to see. And Reza Hendricks was an absolute treat to watch. He was using his feet beautifully against the Indian spinners, and that was the key. And Reza Hendricks, what a knock from Reza Hendricks. He combined it to a very strong partnership for the third wicket with Aidan Markram, a handsome 79 of 89, 7 fours, 1 6. Reza Hendricks' contribution being 74 of 76, 9 fours and 1 6. Klassen smashed 30 of 26, 2 fours, 2 sixes, Miller was not out on 35, 34. By his standards, it was a sort of a slow knock. 35, 34, 4 boundaries, and two. That was pretty much the story as far as the South Africans were concerned. Bowling, Mohammad Siraj. I mean, he's someone right now for the T20 World Cup. As you know, Jasprit Bumrah is someone who is not going to be there. And I mean, Mohammad Shami is definitely tipped to take over because of his experience. But still, Mohammad Siraj is still in the hunt for that place, replacing Bumrah. But Mohammad Siraj, I know he went to the went and played in the English County Championship for the first time. Did a wonderful job, and today we could see what they were all talking about. He was able to get that slower ball, which he bowls very well, and he had some tremendous returns. 10 overs unmade in 38 runs and 3 wickets for Mohammad Siraj. Washington Sundar, after a long, long time, getting into the Indian team, and he was clattered. 9 overs, 1 for 60. Reza Hendricks getting the better of him there. Shahbaz Ahmed made his debut and he picked up 1 wicket. I believe it was a very vital wicket that Shahbaz Ahmed picked up. It was Janiman Malan, who could be dangerous, as we all know. 10 overs, 1 for 54 for Shahbaz. Avesh Khan, 7 overs, 1 for 35. Kuldeep Yadav, 149. Shardul Thakur, 1 for 36. Now, India were chasing 100, 278. It was a big task for them. Besides, they lost wickets pretty early as well. Shikhar Dhawan was bowled by Parnell for 13 of 20, 1-6. Shubman Gill played some pleasing strokes in his knock of 28 of 26 deliveries with 5 boundaries. But there were 2 people in the middle who made sure that India will win this match. And it was thanks to Ishan Kishan, really showing his full repertoire of strokes, especially, as when he came into the IPL, he was with his big hitting. He got into the Indian mainstream team, and then he lost his form. And once again, we saw Ishan Kishan really take off in this partnership, which is a very, very big partnership between him and Shreyas Iyer. And Shreyas Iyer will also be happy with his effort as well, because after quite a long time, Shreyas Iyer getting to his second ODI ton, 113 of 111 deliveries, 15 fours embedded into that. Ishan Kishan, 93 of 84 deliveries, 4 fours and 7 spanking sixes. And Ishan Kishan would have been a bit disappointed because 7 runs separated him from getting his maiden ODI ton, and that too in front of his home crowd. That would have been an absolute treat for the fans. But unfortunately, it was not. Ishan Kishan was gone for 93. Sanju Samson pasted 30 of 36, giving company to Shreyas Iyer, who was there till the end to take the Indian team to the victory and level the ODI series 1-1, with the final match coming up in Delhi on Tuesday. 282 for 3, the Indian final tally. John Fortune started off well with the maiden, but later on, I think the Indian batsman measured him up. 9 overs, 1 maiden, 1 for 52. Wayne Parnell, 144 of 8. Kagiso Rabada, 10 overs, 1 maiden, 1 for 59. Nokia was definitely totally ineffective. 8.5 overs, no maiden, none for 60. Keshav Maharaj, none 45. And Markram, 3 overs, none for 22. Shreyas Iyer was named man of the match. So, as I said, India will be very happy with this effort, being the second string team. They have done a wonderful job. Well, dear fans, I can see Pranshu Mittal there. I'll be chatting with you later, my friend. Let me complete my show here. And good to see that you're there. And also, let's get on to another match here, which is India playing the, as you know, India have reached Australia for the World Cup and the T20 World Cup. India has to get acclimatized to the Aussie climbs there. And I have to say, the very first match, India has really started off very well. It's in the practice match today, the Wacker in Perth, the pacey and the bouncy wicket in Perth. The Indians have done well. India won the match by 13 runs. It was a 20 overs a side game. India batting first totaled 158 for 6. And as I already been telling you, the biggest game player in this T20 World Cup to me is only one man, and his name is Surya Kumar Yadav, who is a 360-degree player. And also, another thing is that for Surya Kumar Yadav, this was his first stint in Australia. And what a performance from Surya Kumar Yadav. He contributed 52 of 35 deliveries, three fours and three sixes. And if you look at the bowling attack, if you look at the bowling attack of the Western Australia, it is not a bad attack. Jai Richardson is someone who's been bowling with lots of fire in the Australian domestic circuit. 4 overs, no maiden, 1 for 18, did a plenty job. Behendorf has played against India as well. He's a good bowler, left armer. 4 overs, 2 for 26. Matthew Kelly, 243. Andrew Tye has been a part of Australia, 1 for 34. So you can't say, I would say it's a decent bowling attack that India faced. Rohit Sharma was out for 3. Pant was out for 9. Opened the innings with Rohit Sharma. Huda would be happy with this effort. 20 to 14, 2 fours, 1 6. Hardik Pandya contributed a neat 27 of 20, 1 4, 1 6. And Dinesh Karthik, the finisher, not out on 19 of 23. 158 for 6 India made. And the Western Australians had some very good batting. If you look at the batting card of the Western Australians, they were chasing the total set by the Indians, and they fell short by 13 runs. If you look at the card there, those players who are there, DRC Short, you know what a good player he is. He was gone for 8 of 6 deliveries with 2 boundaries. Nick Hobson was 1. Aaron Hardy, who has been knocking on the Australian doors, is someone who is a talented cricketer, but yes, Arshdeep Singh dismissed him for a duck. Cameron Bancroft, we all know he was in the news for the wrong reasons, and then slowly he's getting into business here. He made 22. Ashton Turner has also played for Australia, as you remember, was out for a duck. So it is a decent batting lineup as well. Ashton Turner, duck. Sam Fanning was the highest score of 59 of 53. 19 to Mackenzie Richardson, 12. But 145 for 8. But it was the damage which was done by the opening bowlers, especially the Indian pair of Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, 4 overs, no maiden, 226. And Arshdeep Singh would have been absolutely happy with this effort. 3 overs, 1 maiden, coming to Australia for the first time on an international tour. 3 overs, 1 maiden, 6 runs and 3 wickets. Were great returns for him. Harshal Patel was very costly, 1 for 49. Akshar Patel, 1 for 23. 2 overs, 1 for 24 Deepak Huda. And Chahal, 4 overs, 2 for 15, did a good job. Also, there were 2 other matches that was being played. One, as I said, West Indies went on to beat the United Arab Emirates, and the other match was between Scotland and Netherlands, and Scotland went on to beat the Netherlands in that particular game. So now, from here, as I said, I will just take a detour. We go to New Zealand, where the Tri-Series is basically underway within these 3 nations, the host New Zealand, Bangladesh and Pakistan. And so far, Pakistan are on the ascendant as far as victories are concerned, because they've beaten both New Zealand and Bangladesh. And here was a match which was played at the Hagley Oval in Christchurch, where New Zealand went on to defeat Bangladesh by 8 wickets. And definitely for Bangladesh, it's a matter of real soul searching. They have to pick up their form as quickly as possible because with the World Cup coming, because they have been really struggling in this series. Bangladesh were the ones who batted first, totaled up 137 for 8. They were going, the going was not so bad, one could call, but I think the New Zealand spinners, especially the man of the match bowler, Michael Bracewell, the all-rounder, was the one who put the brakes on them and picked up the wickets. 4 overs, no maiden, 2 for 14 for Michael Bracewell, fetching him the man of the match award. Other than that, he saw the 2 for 31, 2 for 25 bowled, 2 for 34 Saudi. And I'm not going to much of the bowling here. Batting card, if you're not going to say Enchanto, top of the list there, 33 was the highest score of 29, 24 from Afif, and Shakib Al Hasan 16. Nurul Hasan, the captain, played a good part of making 25 unbeaten runs, 12 deliveries with 1 4 and 2 sixes. 137 for 8 was the tally as far as Bangladesh was concerned. Now for New Zealand, it was a chase for New Zealand to go and Finn Allen was out for 16 of 18, 1-4, 1-6. But Devon Conway played some wonderful strokes to make unbeaten 70 of 51, 7-4s, 1-6. Williamson made 30 of 29, but Glenn Phillips contributed a hard hit 23 of just 9 deliveries, unbeaten at that, 2-4s, 2-6s. Looking at the bowling, Kraskin Ahmed was a bit costly, none for 34. Shariful Islam went for runs as well, 3.5 overs, no maiden, 1 for 39. Mahmood went for Mehmedi Hassan Miraz, 2 overs, 12. And Shakib Al Hasan also 3 overs, 23. So nothing much, but definitely, as I said, it's Bangladesh who are really, really struggling in this tri series in New Zealand. They have to pick up the pieces, one could call, especially with the T20 World Cup coming up. Now, let's talk about the obstructing the field incident. Now, this was a game between Australia and England. The pendulum was swinging once to the one side, once to the other side, and it was definitely a wonderful game one was looking forward to. And England ran up a big total of in excess of 200 runs. And it was a really, really a very punishing opening partnership between Alex Hales and Josh Butler, who was back in business after missing the matches against Pakistan. But what a partnership that was. That was a spanking partnership in 11 overs, over 100 runs by Alex Hales and Butler, who played superbly. And that was the precise reason they totaled more than 200 runs. And looking at the Aussie card, David Warner was going well, but with his dismissal, it became all the more difficult for the Englishman. Sam Curran did a good job with the ball, especially bowling the final over. And now, other than that, Marcus Stoinis looked pretty strong in his knock as well. But let's talk about the obstructing the field incident. This was a delivery. I believe I'm trying to see. I think it was Sam Curran was the bowler. It was a bouncer with Matthew Wade. It was a very interesting situation for the Aussies. And Matthew Wade was the batsman. He tried to hook the ball. The ball went onto the helmet, ricocheted into the air, and it was I think, sorry, it was Mark Wood who was the bowler. And Mark Wood came there and probably tried to take the catch because Matthew Wade didn't know where the ball has gone. But it basically hit the helmet and went up. And Matthew Wade, very deliberately, one could see, if one could see it, you could very clearly see that Matthew Wade actually saw Mark Wood from behind and actually pushed him. We have seen these pushes in soccer, I reckon, where when you're trying to take the ball to the goal post and someone comes, you just shove him and get the ball past. Now this is something that's what he did. It was very deliberate, and I was thinking that there's going to be an appeal, but one has to say that Josh Butler has been very, very kind enough. He has been very humble, I would say, and his comments were that they did not appeal because if they had appealed, Matthew Wade would have been well. It was definitely an outcome in favor of England. So there's nothing to really think about. But what I mean to say here, is that Butler was very kind, not actually appealing. And the reason that Butler gave for not appealing was saying that they had just landed in Australia. It was the first match. They didn't want to, throw up a sort of some sort of a needle between both the teams right away. But he definitely said that if this would have happened in the World Cup, I would have definitely appealed. Well, it definitely makes sense, but definitely, obstructing the field is something that you can't. And I was really surprised when the appeal was not being done, because it was such a deliberate attempt. You could really see it on the telly when the replay was being showed. Well, dear fans, subscribers, let me just get on, Pranshu. Get on to you here. You have some questions for me. For a long time, I'm seeing someone appear on my cricket show. Well, Indian squad is looking pretty organized, according to me. Yes, India are missing a big game player, and Jasprit Bumrah is going to be a big, big miss. So, if India even if reaches the finals, it'll be great credit to them. India definitely have the talent now. The question mark is that who is going to replace Bumrah? It is still under abeyance, I would say, because they are still deciding upon it. It could be Mohammad Shami is definitely the contender, and I think I will also go for Mohammad Shami, because Mohammad Shami on Aussie wickets could really prove something, because he has pace. He has pace. He can surprise the batsman with his pace, and he also gets good bounce as well. So I would plump for Mohammad Shami here instead of Mohammad Siraj, even though he has been doing well. I would definitely put my hat on Mohammad Shami today because of his experience. Yes, Jadeja. Yes, Jadeja is not there. That is a big problem. Jadeja has been doing very well of late. Whether it be the ball, he's a completely a sort of for me, it's a 360-degree cricketer, Jadeja, because he contributes in all departments of the game, and it's really a shame Jadeja is not there. Kuldeep, well, I don't think he would be getting the scheme of things. Sanju Samson, well, he's a wonderful talent, but he himself understands that the Indian team has a lot of healthy talent, and he once mentioned that he's not bothered about it. He's just going to play cricket. And Shreyas Iyer, yes, he just got on some good form. Just good to see 113 runs, which was good. Well, as far as do we have a chance? That's a good question, Pranshu. I feel with Jasprit Bumrah not there. I mean, Arshdeep Singh, yes, he's a good death bowler as well, but he's inexperienced. So it's very difficult to say anything. But do we have a chance? Well, I wouldn't say that India will. With Bumrah not there, I'm not expecting India to lift the T20 World Cup. If Bumrah was there, probably I would have put my money on that. But since Bumrah is not there, I wouldn't put my money on India. Maybe India might still come into the semi-finals if they could win their initial games. It will be interesting to see. Possible winner, Australia on home tracks, having the home advantage, would probably be a big contender. England are not far behind at all. I'm giving a chance to Australia because of their home environment, but England are not far behind, because if you look at the England team, they have a spate of big hitters in the lineup. We have Harry Brook, who is a new and bold hitter coming into the mix. So I think England will be another contender for the World Cup. But I mean, another thing is that in T20, it's a matter of form on that particular day at that time. Anybody could take it away. But India, I mean, as far as the taking the World Cup is concerned, I have my own reservations, especially as Bumrah is not playing. But other than that, I think India will be India. Even though Bumrah is not there, I think India has still some good talent. In sure, Arshdeep would be having his first opportunity to bowl in Australia. It will be interesting. I think Arshdeep should do well. He has pace. He does not have much pace, but he has bounce as well. Being tall, he can generate bounce. So, in my opinion, Arshdeep would be someone who should do well in Australia. Surya Kumar Yadav, in his first stint already against Western Australia, as I told you, he has already made 50 runs. So he should be in good nick as well, which is good to see. I'm very happy to see that Surya Kumar Yadav in his very first match in Australia has really taken off. And that is good news for India. Why is there an advantage to a team on their home ground? Yeah, definitely. I mean, if you are looking at Australia, they know their pitches very well. Basically, they know like which pitch does what. So they definitely have a lot of game awareness. They know what's going on. And I think, and also, they are much suited because they know how to bowl on this particular tracks and what it really does. So they would have lots of information. So home advantage and also the home crowd. Yes, there will be definitely a lot of international spectators, but I think even the crowd which will be behind them will also motivate them. And also let's remember that Australia are the reigning T20 World Cup champions. Masood, Bangladesh team, very poor cricket, not playing Mahmudullah Riyad. Well, Mahmudullah Riyad, Masood, he was a good finisher, no doubt about it. I was also a bit surprised, but Mahmudullah, the problem for Mahmudullah happens to be that nowadays he's not amongst the runs, and that happens to be the bottom line where he has not been considered. Tamim Iqbal, well, I always felt that. Tamim Iqbal has been a very big game player. He has been a sort of a big asset for Bangladesh. He would have definitely made a difference for Bangladesh. So I'm really surprised that Tamim Iqbal is not playing, because he would make a big difference, no doubt about it. And Mushfiqur Rahim, well, he's also a very good player, no doubt about him. But off late, I think his form has also tapered a bit. To get him to the team, I believe it's all about giving the Bangladesh youth the chance. And I think the Bangladesh youth are looking good, but it's all about the execution at the center. Well, dear fans, I think it was a real pleasure getting you all there and chatting to you. I know that right now, nowadays in my cricket show, I'm not able to do it very early on Saturday, Sunday, and that probably is keeping you all away. I don't see any of the participants coming there and posing questions at me. But yes, it was a real pleasure talking to you all, Pranshu Mittal, Mohammad Masood. It was a real pleasure. T20 World Cup, well, on Saturday and Sunday, definitely I'll be there. And I'll also try to speak about the earlier matches as well on those 2 days, which I get. But again, everybody will be concentrating on the current matches. Next week it's all kicking off, the qualifiers. West Indies have to qualify. So we have a real Sri Lanka have to qualify, I reckon. So we are going to have a real game on hand. And I'm sure West Indies and Sri Lanka should qualify, but it will be interesting. So definitely for me, the World Cup, it's starting on 16th. So it does not matter, big players. Yes, Masood, all old players out of T20 World Cup, but political fact, Bangladesh Cricket Board Chairman Nazmul Mapan boycott all Bangladesh lover, boycott Bangladesh cricket. Well, Najmul, that is not something that I would say anything. I won't comment on that. Cricket is cricket. I mean, you have to watch. I mean, you don't know. Even India does not have Jasprit Bumrah. So India versus Pakistan. Yes, my friends. 23rd. Mark it on your calendar. It's on 23rd of October. I think it's a Sunday, if I'm not wrong. I'm just going to get into my calendar here and see whether 23rd October falls on a Sunday. Beautiful. Definitely, that is something I will definitely do a review. The review will be, if it's on 23rd, then my review should be on Saturday afternoon. Okay, Masood and Pranav, Pranshu, a big pleasure talking to you. Unfortunately, during the weekdays, you can just try. If at all I come, maybe once I come back from my office, probably I might try to do a cricket happening show, but I can't promise you because, thank you, my friend, for all your good wishes. I'm happy to see that you're all appreciating my show, which is good. The only thing that I would like to say, Mohammad Masood from Bangladesh, Chittagong City, bye to you. Pranshu Mittal, bye to you as well. Pleasure, man. Pleasure talking to you all. Keep this going. And I'll be there to talk to you all. And you can all, in fact, try to get more and more audience into this. We can have a nice talk as well. Really looking forward to chatting with you all during the T20 World Cup, and let's make it as exciting as the T20 World Cup can be. With this being said, this is your host Ram, bidding you all a very goodbye, and see you all next Saturday. Thank you.